Alrighty, we are back. Just like I said, we're just gonna go straight right into this next one. Um, so let's get to it. That was the line that was said right before this decision right here. That we just got back to the Normandy. So let's go with.
The cipher shook me up a bit.
I might be able to help you. I am an expert on the Protheans. If I join my consciousness to yours, maybe we can make some sense of it.
My Liara, you're so forward. I like that.
Do it. Hurry. We don't have much time.
Relax, Commander. Embrace eternity. That was incredible. All this time, all my research, yet I never dreamed. I am sorry. The images were so vivid. I never imagined the experience would be so intense. You are remarkably strong-willed, Commander. What you have been through, what you have seen, would have destroyed a lesser mind.
Come on, get to the point. What did you see?
The beacon on Eden Prime must have been badly damaged. Large parts of the vision are missing. The data transferred into the Commander's mind is incomplete.
I mean, Liara is so forward. I mean, she's just hitting on him right in front of Ash. Ash is all jealous and shit. It's nice to see. Sorry, Ash. You had your chance. You and your racist ways have really turned me off. I'm going for Liara. I mean, we just had a moment. There's so many people that say things about Asari. Like, there's so many, like, theories I've read about that, I mean, seem a little bit crazy, but also kind of makes sense. Like, there's some that say, like, the Asari are, like, parasitic race. Because they really do. They attach themselves to alien hosts, take essentially a chunk of their genetic DNA to reproduce. I mean, it makes sense. There's some creepy images that you can find of like Asaris and stuff. It's actually kind of cool. Like some of the art is just beautiful. I mean, I love it. It's very creative. I love any kind of art form. Anyway, sorry. A lot of these videos just entail me rambling on about the lore of Mass Effect, but I'm just very passionate about, obviously, the subject matter here. I love Mass Effect. But let's continue on.
You sure you didn't come across any kind of clue or hint? Something we might have missed?
Everything I saw, you already know. You were right about the Reapers. The Protheans were destroyed by a race of sentient machines. I think it is obvious there is a connection between the Reapers, the Prothean extinction, and the Conduit, but I did not see anything that would help us find it.
What's our next move?
I was able to interpret the data relayed through your vision, what was there at least, but something was missing. Saren must have the missing information. Maybe he found another beacon. If we can find the missing data from your vision, I can... Oh. I am sorry. The joining is exhausting. I should go to the medical bay and lie down for a moment.
Dr. Chakwas should take a look at you.
That will not be necessary. I just need some rest. Somewhere quiet.
Should I just keep repeating the same thing? There's no consequences in these old games.
Dr. Chakwas should take a look at you.
That will not be necessary. I just need some rest. Somewhere quiet.
Dr. Chakwas should take a look at you.
That will not be necessary. I just need some rest.
Sorry.
Quiet.
I'm so sorry, guys. I don't know why I find so much humor from that, but I think it's just funny. These two are standing in the middle of the entire group, just talking, and he's just repeating the same thing, and everybody's just watching, not saying anything.
We're done here. Dismissed.
I've sent off the Pharos report, Commander. You want me to patch you through to the Council?
Patch him through, Joker.
Setting up the link now, Commander.
Commander, Exogeny should have told us about the Thorian. It would have made your job much easier.
You might have been able to capture it for study instead of destroying it.
Exogeny tried to study it. Look how that turned out.
Perhaps it's for the best then. At least the colony was saved.
Of course it was saved. Shepard would go to any lengths to help a human colony.
Why do you gotta enter race into everything, dude? He's a hero. He saves everyone.
Being human had nothing to do with it. They were in trouble.
Admirable. But sometimes Spectres have to make sacrifices. I hope you're willing to do that when the time comes.
Goodbye, Commander. We will be waiting for your next report.
I bet you're not hoping that. Sorry. The curse of knowing things that are gonna happen. Because I know all the major choices in this game. Obviously. I've played the crap out of this game. Let's go talk to Joker. It's been a minute. See if he has anything to say about the last mission. After every major mission, it's usually a good idea to go around and talk to everybody because you can find interesting dialogue.
Hey, Commander, next time we touch down, let's try not to park the ship in a colony of mutant zombies. Just thinking out loud here.
Just change the topic, can't believe it. How'd you get your nickname? Yeah. No additional conversation with him, but I mean, like, his intro and stuff, a lot of characters have that, and I think it's just unique.
I have to go.
Alright, see ya.
This is a good way to get to know the characteristics. And people obviously went to extremes to... not extremes, but... the company went to the trouble of recording that dialogue. I like hearing it. The classic Normandy is amazing, but I mean, I'm sorry, nothing beats the SR2. I mean, the SR1 obviously is nostalgic, but I mean, the SR2, the Normandy SR2 from Mass Effect 2 and 3 is just, it's a stunning ship. I mean, it's a lot bigger than this one too.
Yes, Commander? Is there something you need?
And you know, you never have anything to say, Dr.
Goodbye,
Chakos.
Commander.
Commander, are you coming to check up on me?
Of course, I gotta check up on my bee. I was
You
worried.
look much better. How are you feeling?
Dr. Chakwas assures me I am going to be fine. I was impressed with her knowledge of Asari physiology.
I love how this is just like a repeat of the first conversation you had with her.
You're in good hands. Dr. Chakwas knows what she's doing.
I get the feeling you want to ask me something, Commander.
Already asked all that.
Maybe we could pick up where we left off. You were telling me about your interest in the Protheans.
Actually, I think I was talking about my interest in you, and making a fool of myself in the process. As I said, I am not used to dealing with people, especially humans. I did not really know much about your species when we first met, Shepard. I found it hard to take humanity seriously. Your kind always seemed so rushed and high-strung.
Well, yeah, we're short. We're short-lived. Asari live for thousands of years. I think, well, 1,000 years is typically what their lifespan is. I mean, humans are fairly, I don't know if I would say average compared to the alien races in Mass Effect. I think them and Turians have a roughly around the same life cycle. Krogan lived to about 300-400 years, I think. There might be a few near 500. I mean, Solarians, they only live to be about 30 years. They are very fast-lived. Oh.
We don't have the luxury of time. An Asari can live for 1,000 years. We're lucky if we hit 150.
That is true. At first I thought that was a weakness of your species. After spending time with you and your crew, however, I think it may actually be an advantage. You humans are creatures of action. You pursue your goals with an almost indomitable determination. It is an admirable trait, but also an intimidating one.
You're scared of us?
Unfortunately, the rest of the galaxy sees humanity as something of a bully. You run over anyone in your path to get what you want. It is up to people like you to change their minds, Shepard.
I'm doing the best I can, Liara.
There is a reason the Council chose you to become a Spectre. They saw something special in you. The best of what humanity has to offer. I looked into your history. I know what you did during the Blitz. It was a remarkable display of courage and heroism.
You didn't need to go behind my back. I would have told you whatever you wanted to know.
I apologize, Commander. After our last conversation, I was afraid I would say something stupid again. I wanted to know more about you. To understand what made you into the man you are. There is something compelling about you, Shepard.
Are you sure you're interested in me? Or is it my visions of the Protheans?
I admit, your connection to the Protheans had something to do with my initial interest, but it has grown beyond that. You intrigue me, Shepard, but I was not sure if it was appropriate to act on my feelings. I thought there might already be a relationship between you and Chief Williams.
I forgot in Mass Effect 1, like, your romance options are triggered fairly early. I mean, overall, Mass Effect 1, I would say, is probably most likely the shortest out of them all. Because, I mean, it's pretty much go here, go here, go here if you don't do side quests. I mean, the planets open up pretty quickly. I mean, as soon as you leave the Citadel, you have the 3 main quests you need to do already on there, and after you do them, it opens up the next one. I think you might have to go back to the Citadel before that. I don't remember. I know you have to go back to the Citadel for certain things, but it literally, it's like it can be very quick. And I forgot how quickly they do this. Ash is not special to me, but like the first conversation you take in Mass Effect 1 with Ash when she first joins up, when it kind of pans over to her and you see like a smile from her, or like a slight smile, that's the start of the romance with her. Same thing with Liara. Whenever you like check up on her the first time, there's like a thing that you say to her that immediately kind of piques that love interest thing. There's always the love interest between those two. Honestly, I think for the woman playthrough too, FemShep, it's Liara again, Liara and Kaidan. Because, I mean, obviously, Asari is an all-female race, so, I mean, they can mate with anybody. That's so mean. Kind of hate that I have that sort with Williams, with Ash. Ash is not special.
Williams and I are just friends, nothing more.
My mistake, then. I am not as adept at understanding human relationships as I thought. But what about us, Shepard? Is there a mutual attraction, or was I wrong about that too?
I'm just surprised it triggered so early. I don't know why I keep going on about this, but I mean, it's just surprising to me. I am romancing Liara. If people are just joining now in the video, I always go with Liara. She's always been my like main love interest in Mass Effect. But for this series, I plan on romancing Liara and carrying it over through all 3 games. Because I think when you carry it over from all 3 games, I just feel like it's a much more rewarding experience, I guess, if you will. And because, I don't know, I feel like it's a waste of a game if you don't romance somebody. Because, I mean, there's a lot of romance options in the second one. There's a lot in the second one. they're all good. I've carried over almost every single one and seen how they play out in Mass Effect 3, and they're all pretty good. But Liara and Ashes are definitely the best since they come from the first one. I mean, that's a very long-lasting relationship. All right, let's go.
No, you were right. There is something between us.
I knew it, and I knew you felt it too. But does this not seem rather strange? Why do I feel so close to you? We have only known each other a short time. We are from two different species. We have almost nothing in common. This makes no sense.
I'm sorry. How could somebody not love Liara? She's so like, I mean, at least in this one, her personality does kind of change through 2 and 3, mainly because she just becomes more confident, which is obviously I think kind of better. But I mean, she becomes more confident after the events of the first one. But I mean, she's so innocent and just doesn't know anything. She's so awkward. I don't know. It's just kind of a cute trait.
These things never make sense. They just happen, and we get swept up in the storm.
You make it sound so chaotic, so dangerous.
I don't know why I think it's so funny. I don't know. I've seen these play out so many times. Are you scared?
I'll keep you safe.
I am not looking for a protector. This is all a bit overwhelming. I am not used to this. I need some time.
Oh, dang. You started it.
Take all the time you need, Liara. I'll be here.
Thank you, Shepard. Let's just talk about something else for now.
I should go.
Goodbye, Shepard.
I should go. Alright, I'm pretty sure that completes her love interest now. Like, it's just like plays out with the main storyline now, I believe. I mean, I'm still gonna go and talk to her whenever we finish a mission, just because I want to see if there's any new stuff.
Anything you need, Commander?
Just trying to get a sense of where the crew's at. Thoughts?
Well, they know about the stonewalling you've had from the Council.
They deserve to know what we're up against.
They're on your side. They're pissed about the resistance we're getting, especially from our side. I'll have a better handle on all of it when my head stops hurting. Another L2 flare-up.
Ever thought about going back under the knife? Maybe get an upgrade?
No thanks, Commander. One slip and you can't remember your own name. The L2s spike higher anyway. My abilities would drop with pain-free L3s. That'd be a cold day before I turn myself over to a Canadic subsidiary.
I haven't heard anything about Canadics in a while.
Yeah, they quietly disappeared. Broke up into a bunch of little corps after they botched the training on Jump Zero. After first contact, Canadics was set up to track Element Zero exposures and develop implants for humans. Once we had an embassy on the Citadel, Canadics could bring in experts instead of taking it slow.
Is there some reason we couldn't learn it on our own?
They didn't know where to start. Hell, it took a couple of years to even link biotics and Ezo. Forget trying to get the kids to move stuff. They had trouble just helping them not break their own limbs. And their choice of teachers didn't help much.
The only experts would have to be aliens.
Dead on. Turians, actually. That's why Canadics kept it a secret. They were afraid of what people back home would think, asking the Turians for help when we just fought a war with them.
Which honestly is a little weird just because there's not a whole lot of biotic Turians. Like, I'm just trying to think. Like, I mean, there are some, but I mean, they don't really go into detail on them. But I mean, given we didn't really see like a female Turian until Andromeda, I believe. I believe that's the first time we've actually seen female Turians. I could be mistaken on that, but I mean, it takes until Mass Effect 3 that we see female Krogans. And then female Solarians pretty much look, they're identical to each other, really. See, there we go. Why not the Asari?
The Asari would have been more acceptable than the Turians.
Yes, but the company didn't go through the Citadel. It would have made Earth look weak, so they discreetly hired some Turian mercenaries.
That's so stupid. Asaris are naturally born biotics. They would have been able to teach you a lot better. I mean, obviously, Asari have more years, too.
I'm sure Canadix did what they thought was best.
It wasn't best for us. They brought in an ex-military Turian named Commander Vernus. A real hard-ass. He basically had a free pass to break us if it would turn out a decent biotic. Kind of spiraled from there, Commander.
Did he ever face charges for that?
He got his, yeah. But like everything else at Jump Zero, it was under the table. The less said, the better. Anyway, this is ancient stuff. I walked it off a long time ago. I should get back to my duties, Commander. We're here to make history, not rehash it.
What's your opinion on the last mission?
I'm glad there aren't many aliens like the Thorian. I don't think my stomach could take it. One of my cousins has an agribusiness. I was thinking of calling him. Maybe he can get some shipments into Feros. I mean, now that they're cut off from the company.
Oh yeah, they're cut off from the company, especially since it's a Cerberus company. FYI, remember that name. If you are just like now following Mass Effect with me, with no spoilers, remember that name. That was a document we read on Feros. Well, Aspeth.
We'll talk another time, Lieutenant.
Commander?
Who doesn't like Kaidan? Kaidan's not too bad. I'm. There's a decision later I'm trying to decide with him. I don't know why I went into my own personal chambers. Nobody in there to talk to. Except for my thoughts. Just stand there, staring at the void. Oh my gosh, like, I think I might have, actually, when I first started this, my recording wasn't working for my first video. They have drastically increased the elevators. Back in the first original Mass Effect game, that elevator right there would take forever. It would take probably a good almost like maybe a minute or two just to go down this little short area. The elevators were so bad that there were so many memes going around about them too. I'm sure some of you have seen those memes.
Commander, good to see you.
What up, bro?
You've been with C-Sec a while. Have you seen much action?
Well, not as much as you, but yeah, I've seen some interesting things.
I'll bet you have. Anything in particular that stands out?
I remember this Solarian geneticist I was sent to investigate. That case was a bit disturbing.
I swear, like, the writers for Mass Effect, for some of these, like, side quests and everything, and just stories, I feel like they have some kind of, like, you know, favorable leaning towards horror, because this is another guy that would have been considered, like, another story that would be considered, like, horror. And that reminds me, another good idea for, like, another Mass Effect game would be Citadel, like, working as, like, for the for CSEC on the Citadel back during this time, or play as Garrus. Like, there's a lot of fans that have wanted more stuff with Garrus. Garrus is like one of the like favorite characters from Mass Effect. Like, I feel like almost all the characters to a degree are not necessarily like the favorite characters, but I think every character to a degree is just amazing in Mass Effect. I think they did great character development with all of them.
What happened? Why were you investigating them?
I was tasked with tracking black market trade on the Citadel. Most of it harmless, nothing I needed to pursue. But during the course of my investigation, I noticed an increase in the trade of body parts, organs mostly. We usually get a few of those, but not the numbers I was seeing. We weren't sure if there was a new black market lab or if some freak was harvesting organs from citizens.
You've seen this before on the Citadel?
Every so often, some lab sells unwanted parts through the black market, but they're not as bad as the psychos. I remember this one Elcor diplomat we caught in my first year on the job. He was hacking people up and selling their organs, had the station in a bit of a panic. But this case wasn't that clear-cut. Turns out there was more going on than we first realized.
So how did you figure out what was happening?
First, we got a hold of a sample and ran DNA tests. The weird thing was, the match led us to a Turian who was still alive and was very convinced he'd never lost his liver. After a bit of digging, I discovered this Turian worked briefly for Dr. Salion, the geneticist. So I went to his lab hoping to find evidence of cloned organ development, but there was nothing. No Salarian hearts, no Turian livers, not one Krogan testicle.
You're kidding, right? Why would anyone want Krogan testicles?
Some Krogan believe that testicle transplants can increase their virility, counteract the effects of the genophage. It doesn't work, but that doesn't stop them from buying. They'll pay up to 10,000 credits each. That's 40,000 for a full set.
Dang.
Somebody's making a killing out there.
What did you do about the geneticist?
I brought in some of his employees for interrogation, to see if I could get them to talk. While I was interviewing one of them, I came across something suspicious.
You mean threatened? Was that really necessary?
Maybe, maybe not. Either way, it paid off. One of my detainees started bleeding profusely during the interview. We offered to patch him up, and he got frantic, freaked out. I ordered a full exam to find out what was going on. Our medics found incisions all over his body, some of them fresh. That was our big break. These people weren't just Dr. Salion's employees. They were test tubes. Walking, living test tubes.
He was growing parts inside these people?
Exactly. He cloned their organs right inside their own bodies. Then he harvested them and sold them off. Most of the victims were poor. He'd pay them each a small percentage of the sales, but only if the organs were good. Sometimes an organ wouldn't grow properly, so he'd just leave it in them. Most of them were a mess, but only on the inside, hidden so nobody could see it.
Yeah, it's like this story is pretty sick. I'm pretty sure that one of the side quests that you can potentially do in Mass Effect 1 is actually tracking that guy down. It's either this one or it could be in the second one. I think it's this one though, because I'm pretty sure the Manko is evolved.
I hope he got what he deserved.
That's the worst part. We never caught him.
Why not? What the hell happened?
He ran, blew his lab, grabbed some of his employees, and headed for the nearest space dock. By the time I found out, his ship was already leaving. He threatened to kill his hostages if we tried to stop him.
But you went after him anyway, right?
I ordered Citadel Defense to shoot him down, but CSEC headquarters countermanded my order. They were worried about the hostages, worried about civilian casualties if the ship was destroyed so close to the Citadel. I told them those hostages were dead anyway. He just used them to make more organs, but they wouldn't listen.
Well, you can't get them all.
No, but letting him get away like that, All they had to do was disable that ship, stop him from running. Maybe the hostages die, maybe they don't, but at least we stopped the bastard responsible for it all.
A few casualties is a small price to pay to stop someone like that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, those hostages might be wishing they'd died by now anyway. Just wish I could have stopped him. That's all.
Do you have any idea what happened to Dr. Salion?
I sent out feelers from time to time, hoping to find something. I thought I'd found him a while back. He changed ships and changed his name to Dr. Hart, his idea of a joke, I guess. I told the military, but they weren't convinced it was him. I got the transponder frequency for his new ship, but I just can't get anyone to check it out.
No, there you go. Here's the side quest.
I'll check out the coordinates when I get a chance.
I was hoping you'd say that. But Commander, take me with you when you go. If it's Salion, I want to be there when you find him.
I'll pretty much probably take Garrus and Liara probably anywhere I go anyway. Just because I feel they're like the most well-balanced team. And I'm always going to take Liara where I go just because, well, that's my love interest.
Oh, before I go, you said you're serving with Commander Shepard now? We saw him on the news here. He's cute. Later, sis.
Tell me you didn't hear that.
So subtle.
Afraid I did.
Oh, shoot me now. One of my sisters. That's Sarah, the youngest. Surprised to see you here, sir. Thought you'd be chatting up, what's her name? T'Soni?
Look at all the jealousy.
Liara, why would you think that?
Scuttlebutt says you got a bit of a thing for her. I could understand why. The crew's off limits with the regs against fraternization. And at least she looks like a woman.
Oh, jeez, Ash. See what I mean about the racist thing? She hates aliens, man.
You think I'm interested in Liara because she's the only one I'm allowed to date?
So you are interested in her. Of course, it could be politics. Alien diplomat's daughter, us under orders to make nice with the bug-eyed monsters. What's up? You didn't come by to eavesdrop on Family Mail.
My gosh. There's a lot of jealousy there.
Your family seems to be important to you.
Yeah, we've always been close. Me and my sisters especially. With Dad on duty so much, I had to help Mom raise them.
Did your father serve with the fleet?
Yeah, took any crap posting he could get that offered space time. You know what? He worked his ass off trying to get recognized, but he never made it above serviceman 3rd class. He was real proud when I made Chief. First thing he did was salute.
What about your mother? You haven't mentioned her.
You must know what military wives are like. Strong because they have to be, able to raise kids while Dad's away on a 6-month cruise. She has a degree in planetary geology. She and Dad both wanted to see new worlds. She gave up her career to raise us, though.
You have more than one sister? Sounds like a big family.
Yeah, I'm the oldest, then Abby, then Lynn. Sarah's the youngest. She's still in high school. With 4 girls, Dad used to say he felt more outnumbered at home than on maneuvers.
Where did you grow up?
All over. Same as you, I expect. We transferred a half a dozen times before I finished grade school. You go where personnel command sends you, right? I guess that's why I'm so tight with my sisters. We'd have to leave all our friends every 2 or 3 years.
I was an only child, but I get the idea. At least one of my parents was always on duty.
Yeah, military families, eh? With schedules like that, it's a wonder we ever have kids anymore. Things were tense between Sarah and me for a while. Then we bonded.
Sounds like a story. Feel like sharing?
Sarah got herself a boyfriend who wanted to go faster than she did. Mike. I didn't think he was a bad kid, just pushy. Lynn would send me these worried vid mails, and I'd tell her to relax.
No means no.
Where were you when this was going on?
I was on active duty. Sarah's graduating high school this year. This was only a couple of years back. They were on Amaterasu. At the time, I was assigned to Chernobog. Same cluster, but a dozen Hellwire away. Close enough to talk regularly, too far to make it back in an emergency. I couldn't afford a fast packet flight.
Boys will be boys.
If he really liked her, he wouldn't be pushy.
Yeah, of course. If he didn't ask at all, I'd wonder if he thought Sarah was ugly. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. Mike thought they'd go for a romantic walk in the woods, because he figured it was past time they did the deed. She levered Mike face first into a tree and left. Didn't have a scratch on her. Good thing Mom and Dad had us all learn some kind of self-defense. I took emergency leave and walked Sarah to school for a few days.
I mean, military family.
Why didn't you tell the police?
She said it wouldn't solve the real problem, and she and Mike would both become household names. It was a small colony. I said it was her call to make, that we should let her do it her way. Mom was pretty pissed about that.
You said all of your sisters learned self-defense?
Lynn did pistol practice, but didn't like it. She's kind of nervous. Sarah took Aikido. Abby decided to learn the sword. She always was a little weird. Likes big skirts and tops you have to tie her into. They do great things to her figure, though.
I don't remember that being one of the things. Which is weird considering that I did a full-on romance of Ash from Mass Effect 1 to Mass Effect 3.
So, what did you learn?
One of Dad's friends taught me Marine hand to hand.
You traveled all the way home to walk your sister to school.
It was only a dozen light years, like a day's cruise. It's not like I was going to Earth or something. My last day out, Mike was waiting for us. Sarah had told her friends, so everyone at school knew what he did. He wasn't happy. I wanted to snap him in half, but Sarah gave me this look, this let me handle it, I need to do this alone look. She kept her cool, God bless her, as he screamed in her face. She just let him vent. Then he tried to punch her. I swear, she just flowed around him. Next thing I knew, he's face down on the sidewalk, and there's blood everywhere.
That's unbelievable. Sarah must be as good as you.
Better. I'm more or less a straight-up puncher. When he swung, she wasn't there anymore, and he fell. She helped him stop the bleeding and had me call an ambulance. She told the paramedics he fell. Before they took him to the hospital, Mike touched Sarah's arm. I thought he was gonna end up on the ground again. But he hung his head, whispered, "I'm sorry," and started crying. And she hugged him. The Williams women are a decisive bunch, Commander. We do things when we're ready. Not before, not after.
Your sister's something else. But you didn't mention your father at all. Was he on deployment?
Dad always wanted to serve in space, but he wanted us to have real ground under our feet. He'd say, space is beautiful, but you can't raise a family there. I cannot rest from travel. I will drink life to the lees. All times I have enjoyed greatly, have suffered greatly, both with those that loved me and alone. For always roaming with a hungry heart, much have I seen and known, cities of men and manners, climates, councils, governments.
Wow. Oh, Shepard, some of Shepard's responses, I swear.
I never thought I'd hear you reciting poetry.
Just because I can drill you between the eyes at 100 meters doesn't mean I can't like sensitive stuff. Just don't spread it around. Ulysses was my dad's favorite poem. Every time he shipped out, he recorded me reading it. He had a dozen versions when he retired.
Does he still like it?
I sure hope so. I read it to his grave every time I go home. Dad passed on a few years back. He's probably still watching, though. So behave.
Jeez. Be offensive? Yeah, sure he is.
You mean from wherever we go after death?
Dead on, Skipper. He's with God now. That's not a problem with you, is it? That I believe in God?
You know that old saw, there's never an atheist in a foxhole? I've been in a lot of foxholes.
Yeah, I guess you have. I've met a few people who were really weirded out by my faith. Because I work in space, I can't believe in a higher power? Jeez. Hello, have you people looked out the window? How can you look at this galaxy and not believe in something? I should get back to my duties. Didn't mean to take up so much of your time.
What's your opinion on the last mission?
Gotta admire those colonials. That's about the worst place for a colony I've ever seen. Given the option, I'd get the hell out of Dodge.
We'll talk later, Williams.
Looking forward to it, Skipper.
I just kind of realized that Mass Effect is one of the few games that actually gives you the option of believing in God, or they have characters that believe in God, and that just seems so rare in today's media, just because of the way, I guess, pop culture essentially is. They somewhat look down on that kind of stuff now, which is a shame. But I mean, like Mass Effect Andromeda, one of the characters in there believed in God. One of the scientists. It's I don't know, it's refreshing to see, especially because, I mean, Mass Effect also has pretty much about everything in it. Like, they have gay stuff, they have all this different kind of stuff. So I mean, it is nice to see that they have just such a collection of different kind of beliefs throughout their company that they represent in their video game. I like that. I don't feel like it's forced and it just kind of comes up. That's when I don't like it, is when media forces certain things. I don't think that they should force things on you.
What do you want, Shepard?
Or force beliefs. See if he has anything.
Why did you become a mercenary?
Lots of reasons.
Such as?
Such as, I needed to get out of our system. I needed to eat. I needed to survive.
Why not stay and help your people?
I tried to help. That's why I had to leave.
What happened?
I was betrayed. I was head of a small tribe. We were trying to restore order after the war, but the other tribes were against us. They followed Jared, one of the few warlords who survived the war with the Turians. But he was old, and so were his ideas. He wanted to continue the war. He wanted us to fight. Turians, Solarians, each other. It didn't matter who, as long as we were fighting.
Yeah, that's a stupid mindset.
What did you want?
I just wanted Jared to shut up. To stop his ranting. I wanted him to stop leading the tribes astray. But he couldn't understand how much things had changed. We didn't have the numbers to go to war. Even if we did, the genophage made sure we couldn't replenish our numbers fast enough. I told them all to forget about war. We needed to focus on breeding, at least for one generation. And for a while, we were getting through. Some of the tribes started coming around.
I take it the warlord didn't appreciate that.
No, he didn't. He arranged a crush with the tribes. A meeting on neutral ground. He wanted to talk. We met at the Hollows, near the graves of our ancestors. The skulls of our dead laid bare to remind us where we come from, and where we all go. It's as sacred as any Krogan place can be. Violence is forbidden.
It sounds like a trap to me. You must have suspected as much.
I did. But when your father invites you to a crush, well, there are some laws that even we hold sacred.
Jared was your father?
He was. Until that day. We talked, but we didn't get anywhere. When it was clear that I wouldn't join him, he gave the signal. His men leapt from the graves of our ancestors like Krogan undead. The few that were loyal to me died quickly. I escaped with my life, but not before I sank my dagger deep into my father's chest. That is why I left, and that's why I'll never go back.
So long, Rex.
Shepard.
Rex is such a great character. I mean, I keep saying that about all the characters. They all are great. They all have very unique storylines, backstories, and you get to see a lot of those kind of pan out throughout the Mass Effect trilogy, and I love it. I love seeing them come to conclusions. But Rex is such just a BA character.
Shepard, I'm glad you're here.
Good to see you smiling again, so to speak.
I'm sleeping much better now. I guess I'm getting used to how quiet your ship is. I still think a lot about my pilgrimage, though. I know Theron's our top priority, but with all the worlds we go to, I was hoping to find something to bring back to the flotilla.
We've still got a long way to go. You'll find something to take back.
Yes, but it cannot just be some derelict ship my people can use for salvage. It has to be more than that. There's a lot expected of me.
What's so special about you?
It's my father. He's the senior member of the Admiralty Board. He's one of only 5 people who can overrule the decisions of the Conclave for the good of the migrant fleet. My father is responsible for the lives of 17 million people. Our entire race is in his hands, and I'm his only child.
So are you some kind of heir to the Quarian throne or something?
No, it doesn't work that way. My father's position isn't hereditary. I'll probably never serve on the Admiralty Board myself. Officially, I'm just the same as any other citizen. But it doesn't work that way in practice. People have always treated me differently because of who my father is.
You must get all kinds of special privileges.
I probably had it easier than most growing up, but it's not all good. People like my father have enemies, and they're not above using me to get to him.
It must be tough on you.
My people place a high value on family and ancestry. There's an unspoken expectation that I'll live up to my father's example. Everyone's waiting for me to do something great on my pilgrimage, something that will forever change our lives for the better. If I don't, it's like I failed, and that reflects badly on both me and my father.
The work you're doing here is more important than anything any Quarian has ever done before.
Yes, I know. But you have to understand Quarian culture. We're a very insular society. The events beyond the flotilla don't much matter to the average citizen. Our greatest dream is that one day we'll return to our homeworld and drive out the Geth. But even if we stop Saren, that's not going to happen. There's still millions of Geth behind the veil. Until they're gone, our exile will continue.
What would you need to bring back to make everyone happy?
Something that would help us better understand the Geth. They've changed significantly since the exile. They've continued to evolve. We've done our best to study them, but it's not easy. They're very reclusive. Until recently, they never went beyond the borders of the Veil. And all the Geth we run into now are under Saren's control. We'd need to find Geth operating on their own, independently. But I don't want this to get in the way of our mission, Shepard. First, we stop Seren. Then I'll worry about my own problems.
Oh, we got a new thing. I think that opened up. I don't think that was there before.
What was your father like?
It wasn't easy growing up as the daughter of one of the Admiralty. Even before he joined the board, he was a prominent figure. People looked to him for leadership. He had to set an example, and he expected the same of his daughter. Plus, he was pretty strict, a military man through and through. He never allowed me to settle for anything less than excellence. As a kid, I sometimes felt like he was pushing me too hard. But now, I'm old enough to appreciate what he taught me. The world doesn't owe us anything. If we want something in life, we have to earn it.
Where was your mother in all this?
Mother was around, but she always seemed to kind of blend into the background. Almost like she was overshadowed by my father. He tends to do that to people. She passed on about 5 years ago. Some airborne virus that swept through the fleet. Happens sometimes when the filters start to break down. I think my father took it pretty hard. After she was gone, he became even more focused on his work. I think that was his way of dealing with the grief.
Sounds like a tough upbringing. You don't resent your father at all?
Like I said, it wasn't easy. My father's not the kind of person you bond with. And he wasn't around all that much. Too busy. People counted on him, and he took his duties seriously. Even when he was around, he always seemed a bit distant. Like his mind was always somewhere else. Come to think of it, I can't ever remember seeing him smile. Not once. It's like he was always weighed down by all that responsibility. I mean, I know he cares about me, but he never really showed it, not in the usual way. I guess the best thing I can say about my father is that I respect him.
I want to talk about something else.
Like what?
I should go.
See you later.
I don't know if you ever meet Tali's dad. Yeah, you do. You do in Mass Effect 2. Spoiler. You get to find out a lot more about Quarians in Mass Effect 2. It's kind of nice. You get to see more of their culture and everything. Well, hopefully this episode here hasn't been too bad for everybody. I mean, it's been mostly just kind of story building and everything like that. Kind of, let's say, the downward arc of the storyline, kind of coming down from the events of Pharos. I'm probably going to end it soon because we are over 50 minutes, so we're getting close to an hour. So I probably will end it since we did manage to talk to all of them. We'll end on the galaxy map here because that's just an awesome image right there. But yeah, most of this one was just kind of getting to know more of the crew. Obviously, moving forward with the love interest with the Liara. The next stop should be Noveria. So that's going to be the next area we go to. We'll go straight there. I don't know if anybody's wanting the side quests. Some of these, obviously the one we got from Garrus is a pretty good one. Kind of dark story matter, I would say. Obviously, it's a video game, an older video game, so it's not necessarily graphic. Mass Effect's not overly graphic with anything, because it's not a horror game, it's an RPG game. But I mean, it's still some interesting storylines that they have. Obviously, certain side quests I feel like we should do, because they do, like I've said, Mass Effect carries over your decisions, and a lot of the small ones do carry over. I can say that from personal experience. Some of the small ones, some of the people we meet, people we kill, people we let live, all of that stuff can play an effect into the next game. So we might do some of the major ones. Like, I feel like the ones from the actual people on our crew, I feel like that makes sense that to do those. We're gonna wait until after Novaria. I need to think on the DLC. I can't remember when the DLC, as far as canon goes, takes place. I'm gonna try to put it in where it makes sense, I guess. If anything, I might record that and just add it in. Add it into like a playlist where it should technically take place. But we'll see. I might let it. I might not go to that much extreme. I mean, I don't think it matters because I don't think it really plays a big part in the overall story, really at all. Because I think when I first played it, I didn't play until way after I played multiple storylines. Because one, I played years after it came out. I heard about Mass Effect. I just didn't know much about it when it first came out. But I didn't play the DLC until probably after my third or fourth playthrough. And then I think I finally played it because I always lived out in the country, so we didn't have great internet out there. So I didn't really even know that the DLC existed until one of my friends told me. So, but it's a good DLC. It's been a long time since I played it. I've only played it like once, so it'll be fun to kind of go back and obviously see the upped graphics, kind of see if they probably changed some stuff, so it's probably going to be a brand new experience for me, so it'll be fun. Be fun for all of us. But I think we'll definitely call it there. I don't know if I'm going to continue the series right now. I'm going to continue the series, but I don't know if I'm going to upload all of my videos back to back. This has been a pretty long recording session that I've been doing for this stuff. But I mean, I'm gonna try to do this daily. Try to get out some videos, at least an hour video as quickly as I can, just so we can continue the series, kind of get through this, and kind of enjoy it. I mean, this is obviously a great experience. Mass Effect is amazing through and through. I'm just getting really excited and a little impatient because I really want to get on to like Mass Effect 2 and Mass Effect 3 and just kind of see where our decisions take us. But also I do kind of want to take my time with it too. There's a lot of things I want to do in the Mass Effect game, but unfortunately I do have other series I'm trying to do right now for video games, so we'll do what we can. We'll do what we can. But I do appreciate everybody coming by, stopping by, hitting a like, subscribing to the channel. It's always great hearing from you guys, so definitely leave a comment down below. But I will see you next time. Peace.